Okay, so I'm back again. Just kept watching and immediately realized, oh, he's talking about here. So he said, it caught my attention. All the people live here. All the volcanoes are here. And then the trench is here. And a couple videos ago, did I save it? I might have just saved it out of just downloads. I guess not. A couple videos ago, I talked about this thing, this snakes with profile. Yeah, I need that. Okay, this thing. I snakehead. That looks like one there too. I don't know where it's going off to, or this way. One there off this way. And then two here. But, okay, so these are the black dots, or the just dots, the dots along the back. This is the back itself. These are the, wait, sorry. So notice the dots are where this part are. So it's more noticeable, probably if I go to this, starting from this one as a base. Where is it? This one here. This one goes around this way and up this way. So here's the trench again. Here's these. These are all little eddies, whereas these are little notches, I said. And this is the spine or body type thing with the eddies on the inside, notches on the outside, and then currents that come in and wrap around. They get kind of caught in here and wrap around and create these like wing-like things. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. Like, it has those features, and then it has yellow and red, so it has the blue and the pink, where this one does it again over this way. I think like there with the wings there. There's some this one's eddies include Tonga, where one of the Tonga, the one that went off, is along these ones. That's where I'm like, oh, dude. Because I used to think a lot of things I used to think maybe aren't quite as accurate as I am now realizing, and I'm sure they won't be in the future, and I apologize for the misconceptions. Probably just love all the way, and I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. I'll be the last to learn, I guess, because I'm an idiot and I just want to be right. Like, clearly I'm right. You guys are just mistaken. This ain't no Truman Show. You're just mistaken. Nope. Answering just love is love. All sun. Boom. Okay. Oh, dear Lord. Maybe there's something to do with that necklace, too. This little necklace. Let's check out the main I didn't realize there was such a parallel. Like this even looks like the spine. Like it really looks like there's a tube with cross beam type things. Very much of this nature. Oops, that was right in here. Of this nature, but like with islands on it. And then within it are eddies that formed volcanically because they were vortices that I guess caused a mixing of water into the body of the rock so that it would basically become steam under the heat and pressure. And so there's just this row of volcanoes, probably a row of volcanoes here especially. Maybe some of these are even volcanic. Like that looks volcanic. And I had this thought, like volcanoes, they do this thing. Like if I go back in this video where he's showing the eruption here.
Still there.
Pardon me, sir. Boom. Like the way it shapes itself. First of all, it has a lot of geometry. I'm not sure if this is the same one. Yeah, this here. Maybe. One of the shots he was showing was just full of geometry in the way it shaped over time. Maybe it's this one. Nope. Oh, it's probably here. Yeah, this. Yes. Lots of geometry. Oh my god. I'm sorry about the eruption, but holy crap is that? Let's just watch this a little bit. So it's got like a hexagon. It's got a ring there for a second. It's almost like it's cycling through phases. That's why I'm curious. Like, this is a microcosm that's rapidly going through transitions as it reaches a new steady state. Maybe. So then it becomes like a octagon-ish with a flow inward, kind of like a pizza. Even has little pieces of toppings of your choice. That's almost ammonite-like. That's ammonite-like. Like it almost has one of the ammonites that has another ammonite on top, and then it has like a supported structure of a larger radius. Continues to grow. The ammonite on top, I guess, sinks in to the center to become part of the ammonite within the overall ammonite. Ripples out in shock waves while taking like this kind of shape. Maybe like 5-starred or something, 4-sided, but with like some imbalances. You guys can see that, right? Am I on top of it? I'm probably like on top of it. Oh Lord, Lordy Lord. Wait, let me see. Oh, it's not playing. I just want to make sure it's over top it or not over top it. Okay, let's watch it a little bit again. There's the ring. There's the ring. Okay, I was kind of over top it probably. I could just move, but that would be easier. Okay, okay. Now I forgot exactly why I started doing that. Where was I here? Oh yeah, the volcanoes. That's right. Good thing I was still there. Because over here, the ammonite like cycles down. It radioactively decays to a new steady state system that can support the overlying crust layer that the material underneath it was supporting already, but now it's become like an ammonite, and so the nucleus moves to a new position, which then it occurs because there's three currents. There's a current coming in from. There's three currents coming into here. One from this direction, one from this direction, and apparently one from this direction when it's over here from over here. So this is coming in from here across here into basically here. Like all this space is kind of opening up in the meantime, but initially like right into like here or here, something like that, like around here, and just starts hitting this space and going into here where the nucleus is, this way, I guess, or wherever it was. It's the one causing the Mariana Trench, so it cuts across here, so it should be coming in like right there. So that one's coming in, then there's the one coming in from this way, from over here, this way, and then the Antarctica one from down here, I think. From here, I believe, actually, the like opening area there, which is coming actually initially from over here. So that's another stream coming from here. That one that's coming this way, down along the eastern coast of Africa, protected by the nucleus, so it's coming down this way. And then it comes down here, through here, it rides along the edge pretty much into Antarctica, where it then flows through it, fills it up, flows through it, and then goes through over here to then start to exit here, where it's hitting here, where it's hitting the resistance of Australia head on. So Australia then has three energies flowing in here. Or 1, 2, 3. Maybe that one plays into the ammonite shape also. I only accounted for this one and this one in the ammonite shape, but there is a flow coming through here. Probably plays into how large the system can get and so on. For sure the streams and their currents play into how large the resulting system can get. Good to know. But then it influences this region in a way where it creates this vortex here that's causing just radioactive decay spikes, where it's pulling in energy. The nucleus then just decays through the sequence, where it starts here at the center here and just cycles around this to here, all in the same position though, like sitting here pretty much just wobbling on top of it kind of thing, I think. Like the actual energy is just being focused right here. This point is stationary. The crust on top of it is moving. Something of that nature. Like, it must be sliding off it, actually, in this direction initially, and then it moves in this direction. Like, once it's stably on top and broken apart enough. Okay. So here, though, let's just play this section a little bit. Back arc basin, so that's where the currents seem to be. Pardon me if I'm wrong. Pardon me if I'm wrong about everything. That's right, it's here. That's where the currents seem to be flowing back by these. This thing is just creating basically this flow around, which is then interacting with, because essentially this is still like over in this region. But as it's moving away, as like this region and this region separate, it has like this vortex still going. Like, this is still happening. And it interacts, I guess, with this region. I'm not sure about that. I feel like I had an explanation for that in another video. It might have been currents. Maybe there's another current coming this way that was just like exactly there. But that doesn't make sense. Unless it was this current, the one coming out of here, cutting across here. Yeah, that's probably it. Because this system is closed off here, an ammonite structure, where there's currents coming in that are vortexing, but then they only can really come out here because this is an inlet, this is an inlet. This is really the main outlet, so they would probably go in a very narrow path across here, which then would play into this thing and just this cutting across. And then they hit this resistance here of this figure 8 magnetic field. Like, instead of this, it's hitting this resistance, which is just pushing a boundary between the two. And shaping this region, so I wonder if that plays into this. Where's the snake figure at? The snake's over here, more close to the nucleus, but there's not one of those over here, so maybe it's tied. It's certainly tied to the fact that there's an ammonite shooting a beam right there. Yeah. I can say that pretty. Unless, yeah. I know sometimes I say it goes the other direction than it looks like it does, and then it probably does. But in this case, I'm fairly confident. It cuts across here and goes right there. Collides with this field. I wonder if there's some reason. So this is like a shalogram chakra, so a shalogram spiral. Putting off another shalogram opening. It's like different dimensions almost. Like, if we could look at this system turned, maybe it'd be more, and this one on turn, maybe they'd be more like one another. Just flipped on the side. Just at a different angle. love you guys. That's all I can say. What more can I say? I'm just trying to help. Obviously, if I was a little more aware about XYZ, people may think, then I would probably not do the XYZ things, but I don't know. This looks like it comes... This is interesting, because it's kind of like the currents here are kind of getting focused into more of like a pinch point where they just kind of start turning into more right here, like really right here, very narrowly right there. And rippling out too. So this is, it is, we can see the channeling then. Oh, it's coming, it's not coming just from here, it's also coming, I guess, from these novas going this way, creating a channel this way. So I guess there is some flow this way going on. I just assumed it was all kind of going this way and this way, but there probably is some outlet from here also. At least like a channel somehow carved like right along the edge. Like right here, maybe it's coming as an outlet somehow. Like here, anything that doesn't get past this point just comes this way to a degree, enough to like start bringing stuff over here. And then it comes down here, maybe, and it kind of spreads in here, I guess. Also, same kind of thing going down here. Maybe there's a back current down the wall, just along the boundary, creating space. It makes sense. They do that kind of thing where they have like a space between the mass and the wall. But this comes down this way, and this comes over this way, and this comes this way. So they do kind of have at least some streams combining. Like this is probably the main current, and it's getting some threads from other currents, although I've misjudged how much current is going through places from, like, this could have a major flow out coming out it this way, even though it mainly is this way. I feel like maybe this flow actually deflects this way, and this whole channel is actually this way. I don't know. Like anything that goes this way, and if it goes through here, it goes that way. I don't know. I don't know. Or once this nova happened, it just allowed for a channel this way and some kind of back channel this way in this zone. Like once this nova happened, maybe this whole region has like a circulation, which then brought circulation that way. Something of that nature. At least maybe not this whole region, but like this whole region. Like this flow crossed over here, and maybe this region got largely just contemplating. I don't know, because this looks kind of focused right there, right at that like center of the wave point. Let's see what's going on there. I had another thought I wanted to say about this here. But let's see. That might be like right there. And there's two little like counter chakras, maybe even. Indonesia. Pangarangan. Let's check it out a little bit. That's gotta be man-made, right? These little things. For rice. What's up, guys? Oh, Lord. Okay, okay. That's fine. Here's another one, though. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe that, like, focus beam comes right here. Oh, look at that. Right here. And interesting, it has a void region and a mass region. So it does, like, a positive, negative, creates, like, 2 chakra points. It's not that visible in this, but it's real visible right here. Especially knowing that there's a flow coming along the coastline here, just pretty much funneling down along in the inside of these along, and I think that's where they're most like best angled off of here to go to here, like wherever this place is. So a little west of Taiwan, right around there. Around here. Okay, so that's not even in that line. That's interesting. Then again, it's one of those things where it's underground, so actually this is probably that line. It's probably just staggered a little bit, so it's not actually positioned. It's really strange that one under the Andes volcano is positioned exactly, though. Because everything else I've found has not been able to like confidently feel like that's gotta be correlated, especially with all those other ones that gotta be correlated. But then the Andes one is like right there underneath it. It must be because of some unique characteristics of that circumstance that are just not present usually. Maybe that's not quite at that point either. Like the far side over here, maybe the boundary, like the focus. Okay, I was mistaken. The boundary of this current that's like creating space. It's like colliding currents coming in together and just creating space around it, which then leads to this region. Okay. And then leads to, like, in order to create space, it's got to, like, push stuff kind of more together around it. So this region probably is more bounded by that. Like right there, yeah. Yeah, we can see the waves are, like, limited to there. They just can't really get into this region. So a mass is able to be here nice and hanging out. Landmass. It really wants me to leave names, I guess. It just hides the features so much. I feel like I gotta learn the features first, and then I can learn more details in that way. Like, I'm very much like physics. Like, I started physics like as a method of choosing, like, processing things. Like, that's probably the most fundamental one. And then it kind of got into geology, but, like, I forget what I was saying, but hopefully it made sense. All these novas, so these are definitely, like, those nova centers. Interesting, they're not producing fully stable polygons. They're producing, like, mini polygons, which are themselves fully stable. Like, this polygon is full. This polygon is pretty full. Are these even... some of these, who knows? I could be entering into South China Sea. Is that what this is? I don't know. I don't know if that's where they build. The Chinese bases are probably, or the islands are probably like these ones. It does look like some bases there. Some stuff going on. Did you guys even build polygons? I don't know if this is them, but it kind of doesn't. It kind of looks like it could be a little man-matey. A little not man-matey, though, too, at the same time. Like, why would they do that? I don't know. Yeah. This probably had a similar thing to Madagascar, where there was a flow out here that just kind of created a boundary between this polygon and this polygon, and just made the Taiwan island. Well, if the current flow is there, it went this side. We can see it there for sure. Yeah, that's definitely the current flow that reaches maximum of there. And then kind of has little bumps even. You can kind of see the bump, even a bump like that. Wow. They're straight up like many circular ripples just clearing this region. Like this structure here with these boundaries is formed by a bunch of like novas in a way. Like by colliding waves, creating these like wave centers that just carve out a shape that's like got smooth edges here, smooth edge here. I'm not sure if that's actually just the smooth edges. It just carves it out like that. So that means the center is like here-ish. Probably more realistically, like where this, although it kind of stops here, so maybe it's focused more here even. I wonder if there's a bunch of like water to counter the islands here, like this one where the negative region got carved out and created the positive region by pushing it up here, maybe. Has some islands all within it, so maybe this one where the positive region has some water regions in it, is what I was thinking. Maybe this stuff counts. That's kind of dendritic too for some reason. That looks like current flow in, which brings to mind. Well, I guess I don't even need to do that. I can just keep this open, go here, and go to downloads. That's close that. Open that. That's. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Just reaching on in. It's got that little this thing going on. 3-fingered pretty well with that finger, so maybe even 4. Like it's pretty much like a hand reaching in. It looks like the same location in space. I mean, it's possible in the cosmos we can see the same locations on Earth in the cosmos because we're just looking at the same system from different angles every single way. Oh, pardon my ignorance. If you can, or don't. Pardon me for just telling you to pardon it, and pardon me for telling you to pardon me, telling you to pardon me. I don't know. Can we just, like, hug it out? This looks like an interesting little feature. I wonder if this is like those four snake heads coming together. What did I do with it? Is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. I was like, this thing. This goes this way. So they all go the same way on this one. Okay, so this goes this way. This has to go this way, which kind of does. This goes this way or this way-ish. I mean, kind of does. This goes this way, ultimately, so it kind of does. If this is it, then it kind of goes ultimately that way, so it kind of does. So there must be, like, volcanoes, like, right here. Like, that's probably a volcano. This is a crevice, I guess. These are like maybe wings. Would these even be wingable? I think these might be wings. If this whole body is part of this somehow, that would be pretty extensive. I was initially just thinking like right around this section. Let's look at this. I'm not sure how much detail is visible. There, is that it? No. This is it. There are those wing-like things there, but I mean, that's about maybe here also. If this is like, oh, underneath this in reality, this has some potential of having like, or here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that could be it right there. And then this big blue one even could, or this little blue one could be one even. So they probably just form like that, where just like, it's almost like a positive and a negative, like to be next to each other and have a tail out the side that then just kind of crawls into wherever it can. Or just curls around itself, so I guess it could feasibly have a positive and negative that they just start curling around themselves like perfectly in multiple dimensions even. So it creates three-dimensional curls around themselves. And then maybe that's related to ammonite spiral shapes, like some nucleus of a positive negative attached. That's tails are kind of just able to spin around themselves in some sort of nucleus, a seed of a stable system where it's got the positive, the negative, and the tail. Maybe the tail is kind of like the anti-neutrino that kind of goes in these tabs I was talking about in a previous video. How the proton is like kind of like an empty channel in essence, and an electron is the material that fills an empty channel, if it fills an empty channel, or wherever it may be. Relative to an empty channel, an electron would be the particles that fill it, the mass that fills it, is sufficient to fill it. And then a neutron, though, requires a bond in some way. Or maybe like a gate to close the door, maybe, to make it really sealed. But ultimately, something of this nature where it's like a peg to like connect it. Free neutrons do not exist. Pretty much, they decay rapidly. So it's probably because they're not actually, like, they don't make any sense. It's a channel that has, it's a filled channel with a peg through its tab, but it's not connected to anything, so it's just it doesn't make any sense. It needs to be like connected to something, or else it can't be filled, I guess. It can't be a neutron, I guess, without connecting. Maybe that's pretty enlightening in some ways. Anyone out there like me who's not connecting with people, I'll just give it my all by myself and hide in a corner and pretend no one else is participating by choice, when it's really me hiding away in a corner and being an asshole. Don't you come near me! This is the... You lesser than, look at me, judge you on all these ways. Just being a total fucking asshole. In whatever way possible, and be just like push people away. The things I do, because I'm afraid, probably. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Dude, I don't want to do this. I love this. I love learning it. Like, it's awesome, but I don't want to, like, actually, like, be in the spotlight. Like, I'd prefer to just hang out. Pretend no one's noticed me while I, like, make it impossible to notice me because I'm just lashing out at everyone. Just no connection. Just lashing as I grow. That will never grow enough to connect. I'm a stable neutron for sure. Surely this is perfectly fine, see? Ah! I need new material to be stable. I don't know. Pardon me. Or do I need to get the shit out of me to be stable? Like it's like a channel that has a bunch of stuff filled in it. No more flow, and then I gotta burst. Okay. Well, till the next one.